manifesting through the Nijavatara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Parameshwaram. And at the end, each and every one of us will also be manifesting the same powers of third eye that we will be initiated into during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. So, how can we prepare ourselves for this Bhava Samadhi Darshan? Listen and participate in the entire Bhava Samadhi Darshan. That is all is needed. In every single step that we are going through now, in every single segment, give your utmost participation, listen, internalize, and be there in it. That will prepare you to experience the darshan. What exactly is Bhava Samadhi Darshan? Let us understand the word Samadhi. Sama means source. Sama means oneness. Adhi means source. Samadhi means one with the source. Bhava means attitude or aspect. Bhava Samadhi means being one with the source through this aspect. Through any which aspect you feel connected to Paramashiva or Parashakti, to the source, to the cosmos, to the expressions of Kailasa, any which bhava through which you are able to connect with that ultimate cosmic consciousness, that and experiencing that oneness with that consciousness is Bhava Samadhi Darshan. The aspect that you choose through that bhava, being one with the source, Samadhi, is Bhava Samadhi. Having a clear understanding that this bhava, for example, the bhava that we are experiencing today is Devi Parashakti. Knowing very clearly that Devi Parashakti is the ultimate. She is the ultimate expression of the entire cosmic consciousness. Knowing this truth very clearly, knowing that she is there, real, alive, manifesting in every one of our life, listening to every one of our prayers, devotion, granting the boons, wishes, taking care, protecting us. Knowing this and being in oneness with Devi Parashakti, experiencing that oneness with Devi Parashakti, the deep feeling connection with Devi Parashakti, that is what is Bhava Samadhi. The science of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, the very fundamental principle itself is rooted in the cognition that the divine cosmic beings are real. They are not just some principle alone. They're not just some mythological ideas. No, they are real, they are alive, they are manifesting. So understanding clearly that divine cosmic beings are real, they manifest from Kailasa, which is the enlightened time-space zone, through the deities and the incarnations, and the divine cosmic beings manifest through the Archavatara, which are the deities that we worship in the temples, and through the Bhava Samadhi Darshan in the Nijavataras, the most extremely rare happenings, who are the incarnations of those dimensions, those cosmic beings themselves. These are the two ways through which the cosmic beings of Kailasa manifest themselves. This is a science. What are the benefits of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan? The Bhava Samadhi Darshan awakens the Kundalini Shakti, which is the latent potential energy in every human being. Awakening of the Kundalini Shakti results in extraordinary abilities expressing through us, like the third eye awakening, where you're able to see with your eyes closed, ability to have the remote vision, where you're able to be seated wherever you are in the world, but look and just know anything that is happening anywhere in the world, anywhere in the entire cosmos itself, not just this planet Earth. Ability to scan one's body, where you're able to diagnose your entire body, diagnose others' body, find out the root of problems, and find the solutions to heal that problem. Levitation, teleportation, materialization, and such other 60 different powers are awakened just by having the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, and these 60 different powers are scientifically tested and proven already. The Bhava Samadhi Darshan awakens the Kundalini Shakti, and your entire brain becomes alive. When the Kundalini Shakti is awakened, you will see that the non-mechanical parts of your brain will immediately start getting awakened. Your entire brain is awakened and filled with that superconscious energy. This influx of the superconscious energy will visibly slow down the aging process and actually result in anti-aging. It also improves immunity to diseases, especially given the time, the COVID pandemic that every one of us are facing, the entire world is facing. Just by being seated wherever you are, in your own houses, in your own rooms, in your own bedrooms, in your own cars, wherever you are, just by being seated where you are able to receive the Bhava Samadhi Darshan and experience that Kundalini Shakti in your life. With increasing levels of coherence, the entire brain comes alive and it turns it into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, and transform our lives. Having the darshan or a glimpse brings lasting transformation in us. It cleanses lifetimes of karmas and raises you to the next level of the superconscious breakthrough. The Bhava Samadhi Darshan is literally like pressing a reset button on your being, where whatever you would have gone through till now doesn't matter. It's like a new, fresh start that you'll be receiving during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, experiencing the ultimate in your life. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, our neurons mirror that of the avatar. What are the neurons? There are a special type of neurons in our brain called as the mirror neurons. These activate and process all the observed movements or information of the avatar just by seeing. There is no need for the physical movement, physical inaction, but just by looking and having the darshan, having a glimpse of the darshan of the avatar, you will see that the same energy, the same neuron activity that is going on in the brain of our beloved Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, will exactly get mirrored in your very brain. You will see your entire body silently and without any movement just recreates whatever is happening. Distance is far away, experiencing the superconscious energy that is radiated by the avatar. Akashic readings. What are these Akashic readings? Akashic readings are readings from the cosmic archives. These are not some predictions, but it is actually just reading out the archives as it is. Please understand, when you go beyond the time and space dimension, there is nothing called as past, present, future, happened, happening, and yet to happen. All of that is one and the same. Only when you are stuck in the dimension of time, there is something called as past, present, and future. But when you pull yourself out of that and you see everything from the space dimension, you will see that there is no difference between past, present, and future. It is just one continuous happening. So that is the reason in the Akashic records, there is no past, no present, no future. That is why there is nothing, whatever we call as happened, happening, and yet to happen is already recorded in the Akashic records based on how your current inner cognition is, your current inner spaces, the cognitions with which you function, your default future is already set. Every time you have a conscious breakthrough, you will see your default future changes. So these are the Akashic readings. Let us now understand and get to know about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is the reviver of Kailasa, which is a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva, as per Hinduism, and he is recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters and adepts in Hinduism. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has made the science of power manifestation, yoga, and temple-based universities for the humanity. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is ordained as the 233rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Kanchi Kailasa Sarvajna Peetham or the Tondai Mandala Adinam. He is also the incumbent emperor of the Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam. The present 293rd Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Shamala Peetha Sarvajna Peetham. The present Mahamandaleshwar of the Supreme Spiritual Head of Mahanirvani Akhada, which is the largest apex monastic order in the world. the 1008th Acharya Mahamandaleshwar, which is the head for all the spiritual leaders of the Achalakada, which is the most ancient apex body of Hinduism. The present 23rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of the Dharma Mukti Swarga Paramadhinam, elected as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism by a congregation of over 1,000 Hindu leaders and pontiffs, revered as the teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific, most viewed, read and watched, authored over 300 books, 10,000 articles in 3 different languages, which is the English, Tamil and Sanskrit, these being translated into 50 different languages with over 1,000 titles, over 20 million copies of books, articles sold, read and downloaded, over 10,000 hours of discourses by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, enriched and enriched over 1 billion lives digitally, respected as a commentator of all the sacred scriptures such as the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gitas, Shiva Sutras, Brahma Sutras, Yoga Sutras, Ashtavakra Gita, Jain Sutras, and more. Honored as the leader of Hinduism, the most awarded, internationally recognized Hindu leader, reviver of the 108 ancient Hindu Sampradayas, including the Rudra Kanyas, Rudras, Rishis, Rishikas, Bhairavas, Bhairavis, Sannyasis, and more. The establisher of the largest Hindu university, which is the Kailasas Nityananda Hindu University, which is the largest in the world with satellite campuses in over 150 countries, establisher of 1,000 plus Kailasa enlightenment ecosystems, founder and reviver of over 100 Sarvajna Pitas, collector of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaves, and over 20 million digital ebooks. Given now that we have listened to the beautiful introduction about the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the introduction to the entire program itself, it is time that we enter into the next segment of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan today, where we are going to witness the extraordinary powers that will be manifested by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism when he is manifesting to each and every one of us the possibility that exists for each and every one of us during the Bhava Samadhi Darshan. I request every one of you to please stay tuned as we enter into the next segment of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan to experience and witness the extraordinary manifestations by the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please stay tuned for the further segment of the Bhava Samadhi Darshan.
I tell you, each Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a spiritual treat, enjoy. Spiritual feast, enjoy. Don't miss it. Never miss a Bhava Samadhi Darshan. Enjoy Paramashivoham, which is introducing and making you cognize the cosmic principles and cosmic beings. The state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities, in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities, and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Bhava Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, They manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
Yes, Nityananda, and we're back. We're going to be seeing the manifestation of the extraordinary Shaktis and powers of Paramashiva in this next segment of today's Devi Parashakti, Bhava Samadhi Darshan, and Akashic readings. The Balsans, Nityananda Yogis, initiate disciples of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, will now be demonstrating the power of third eye in sharing with all the experiences and results of the extraordinary power manifestation, the divine powers awakened in us through Diksha, initiation. In today's Bhava Samadhi Darshan, all of us will be receiving the initiation into third eye awakening with various other powers with the blessings and grace of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. We will be manifesting the following powers of third eye, which is seen with the eyes blindfolded. Third eye is the cosmic browsing center located between the brows, which upon initiation, one can effortlessly express powers and see through the third eye just as you would with two eyes. Let us now understand what are Shaktis. Manifesting powers, or Shaktis, are described in the Vedas and in the Agamas as a system, a method, a science for human beings to explore the various possibilities and powers and have access to various states of consciousness. Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are divine, need to manifest divine, and not you are man, need to reach divine. Here the foundation is you are Paramashiva. Your unmanifest recognizes that you are Paramashiva, even if you have not yet manifested it. Understand that is why what Paramashiva is revealing through this body and through the system, through this methodology. Any samyama you do on powerful cognitions, you manifest only Shaktis and powers, not Siddhis. These are the direct words from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism on this science of power manifestation. Let us understand some of the differences between Shaktis and Siddhis. Shaktis express from the space of enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the group. Shaktis are the source of enlightenment, whereas Siddhis are powers that manifest from tapas or penance on the path of enlightenment. The Shaktis of Paramashiva manifest through ordinary human beings in an extraordinary way after the initiation from the avatar. Shaktis are permanent, whereas Siddhis are not permanent and may divert you from your path of enlightenment. Paramashiva is the source of all Shaktis. He is the primordial divinity in Hinduism, the ultimate reality and cause, which is self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha, all-pervading, unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As the fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest, and Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakrityas, which are the five cosmic actions of Srishti, creation, Sthiti, sovereign rulership and maintenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Bhava, pulling out of delusion, and Anugraha, liberating grace for all living entities. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasrindanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Parameshwaram, is the 1008th living incarnation and representative of Paramashiva, the reviver of Kailasa, the ancient enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. the great cosmic borderless Hindu nation. Ever since the beginning of the civilization, the Sanatana Hindu Dharma has been the cradle of enlightened beings and highly advanced sciences. It is where the science of enlightenment and powers, Shaktis, was lived and taught as a lifestyle. For the first time in modern day, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving these yogic sciences and transmitting it to the world at a record-breaking pace which has never been accomplished before. The knowledge and science of manifesting these Shaktis are passed down from one generation to the next through Diksha, which is initiation by the enlightened gurus. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, being recognized as an incarnation at a very young age, was trained and taught these sciences to revive the initiations and knowledge repositories for billions to manifest the science of power manifestation from the various disciplines of Vedanta, Tantra and Shri Vidya, Yoga and Yogic Sciences, Mantra Shastra, Siddha Vidya, Science of Aushadha, Advaita and Bhakti Yoga, Parameshwar Jnana and Parameshwar Vijnana. So how do we awaken the divine Shakti in us? Every ultimate truth, Jnana, tapped into our consciousness, Prajna, manifests as the possibility and power of every being, Prajnana. Here we have a beautiful video expanding on the science and on the truths of what is Diksha, what is the science behind initiation.
Is the direct transfer of spiritual energy by an enlightened being through look, word, or touch. The traditional Vedic book Navaratneshwara states, Sarva samapi dikshanam uktihi phalamaphanditam avirodhat bhavantyeva prasangyastu bhuktayaha. The main benefit of all initiations is moksha, enlightenment. As a side effect, health, wealth, leadership, and well-being happen. And in Rudrayamala Tantra, Shiva says, Devi diksha vihinasya na siddhihi na cha sadgatihi tasmat sarva prayatnena guruna dikshito bhavet. The one who is not initiated does not attain liberation nor a better future. So by all efforts, one should get initiated by Guru. What is the science of initiation? Neuroscience has proved that the process of initiation floods the brain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, it sets up a powerful energy loop within the brain, which awakens the latent non-mechanical parts which we have never used before. With increasing levels of coherence, the whole brain comes alive, turning into a superconductor of conscious energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness, visualization, creativity. It also slows the aging process and improves the immune system. Kundalini awakening, healing experience, levitation, teleportation, materialization. Experience the power of initiation through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nityananda Dhyanapitham, Nityananda Nagar.
Yes, we're back. Beautifully, the science of initiation and the science of Diksha was explained through the video how the initiation happens, purpose of initiation, and some of the side effects of initiation as well. Now, coming back to the science of power manifestation. Science of power manifestation is authenticated through 4 aspects or evidences, otherwise known as pramanas. The first being the Shastra Pramana, which is the eternal, unchangeable truths revealed in the source scriptures of Hinduism. The next is the Apta Pramana, which are the experiences and results of Aptas or authorities on Hinduism, such as the Vedic rishis and scientists who have time tested and verified this science. The next is the Atma Pramana, which is the account of the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramasham's this millennium's avatar's personal experience on this science of power manifestation, as well as the Pratyaksha Pramanam, which is the empirical evidence from observation and scientific experimentations. The Vedas are the ultimate superior authority for Hindus. Vedas are pure science where the ultimate truths are explained. Agamas are the scriptures where the applied technology, the applied science is expanded upon. Veda Agamas are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. A reference cited from the Shastras or source scriptures is called the Shastra Pramana. Let us now get ready to witness a very unique and exciting demonstration of this power of third eye. Here we have the Shastra Pramana, the scriptural reference to manifest the power of third eye. Kapalantarmanonyasya tishthanmilitalochanaha kramena manasodardyat lakshaye lakshamuttamam. By fixing the mind on the inner space within the crown center and sitting stably without any movement, having the eyes closed in succession, by that stability of the mind and inner space, one directly sees the ultimate goal by having the vision beyond the sight that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of oneness with the source. Here we have the Apta Pramana, where Bhagavan Sri Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye. Natumam shakyase drishtam anenaiva svachakshusha divyam dadami te chakshuhu pashyame yogamaishwaram. Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna, but you cannot see my cosmic form with these physical eyes of yours. Therefore, I grant you the divine third eye vision. Behold my cosmic opulence. In the Hindu Purana Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye to behold Krishna's Vishwarupa Darshan, the vision of his cosmic form. The 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita contains the description of Bhagavan Krishna's cosmic form and is completely narrated by Arjuna as he sees Bhagavan Krishna through third eye. Here we have the Atma Pramana, which is the personal experience of the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism when he had the glimpse, the power of seeing through the awakened third eye at the age of 10. In Swamiji's own words, the first experience that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, 10 directions, below me, everything. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience all of that as me. Here we have the Pratyaksha Pramana, which is the empirical evidence born from observations and scientific experimentation. Study measures and compares the metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious and meditative open up third eye states using positron emission tomography, otherwise known as PET. When daily activities are performed, high activity is measured in the brain where the third eye is located. And when in deep samadhi state, only the third eye region is active and almost 90% of the brain is at peace. Here we have the Sakshi Pramana, which are the experiences and results of this extraordinary manifestation happening through the initiated disciples of the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism. This rare and sacred science of third eye awakening is being made available to humanity for the ultimate enrichment and conscious evolution by the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashiva, who as the living incarnation of Paramashiva, Supreme Pandava of Hinduism, embodies the most profound yogic states that surpass all bounds of time, space, and matter. The Supreme Pandava of Hinduism is gifting this pure great science of third eye awakening, along with many other spiritual sciences through initiation, Diksha, where millions of people have been initiated by the Supreme Pandava of Hinduism and experiencing the profound results as extraordinary powers in their everyday life. So with this, let us now enter directly into the power of seeing with the eyes blindfolded with the Balsans and with the Nityananda Yogis. Joining us today for this power manifestation demonstration, we have Sri Shivashankarananda Maharaj, who is going to be manifesting this power of third eye awakening, of seeing with the eyes blindfolded for all of us. Nityananda Maharaj.
My name is Shri Shivashankarananda. I'm Balasan of Nityananda Gurukul, and I've been in the Gurukul for the past 8 years. Thank you, Maharaj, for today having me in the first segment of Manifestation Science. We are manifesting the science of Paramashiva, where we're going to be looking and demonstrating this power of third eye, where which reading with our eyes completely blindfolded. So I'll just take you guys forward. What we're going to do is, as you can see, the camera. This is the mindfold which I'm going to wear. This mindfold is completely tested by the ophthalmologist, and there's no visibility of light which is being seen. In the front is a thick sheet of the acrylic sheet, which is completely black in color. The behind is the foam, and the sides are the adjustable strap where you can adjust it accordingly, tighten it or loosen it up. So this is the mindfold which I'm going to wear. And you can see the other part of the camera is the Living Enlightenment book of Swamiji. So in this Living Enlightenment books of the Gospel of Swamiji, Paramahansa Nityananda, this book is very beautifully Swamiji. Swamiji says that whatever he has to say, or he is going to say, he has not yet said, but he'll be saying it. Everything is there in this book. So basically, Swamiji says this book is exactly like Paramashiva himself, who is present in this book itself. So what we're going to do is now as an example, there's a random page which is being projected. Is whatever page as we are being watched from the YouTube Live, Facebook Live, Kailasas TV, and two-way video conferencing from Zoom, and the Power Manifestation Coordinator who is coordinating this program. Now, if any page across more than 500 pages from this book exactly, so any page you can please comment it below for me to open it up. When I put my eye band and blindfold myself, I'll be opening it and reading that page and revealing that powerful cognitions which is being revealed from Swamiji directly from this book. So that's going to be today's Power Manifestation segment. And now, connecting the space of oneness with Swamiji by chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham, requesting Swamiji's grace and blessings to manifest this power of third eye.
Yes, thank you so much, Maharaj. You can ask volunteer to go ahead and hide the eye band. And as we prepare ourselves to witness this great extraordinary manifestation of the power of seeing with the eyes blindfolded, we are going to be going ahead and ourselves connecting with Swamiji in our own third eyes. As we had seen previously in the introduction of this program, the science of mirroring neurons happens when we just simply see another person performing the act. Even we ourselves are not performing. And so by seeing Shiv Shankara Maharaj demonstrating this power of third eye awakening for all of us, we'll be having the mirroring of neurons that affect being replicated in our own brains. And so by seeing and witnessing this power manifestation demonstration, it is a great way for us to entangle and for us to have the same mirroring of neurons experience in ourselves as well. And so when we connect to Swamiji from our third eyes, we will experience the same power, we will experience the same experience of seeing with the third eye as well. So let us all go ahead, sit straight, bring our awareness to our third eye center. Remember Swamiji in our third eye. Start chanting the Mahavakya. Om Nityananda Paramashiva. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Yes, Maharaj, we can go ahead.
Yes. So as we enter into the power manifestation demo, you can go ahead and have the LE book being projected on the screen. Yes, Maharaj, you can go ahead and start shuffling through the pages of the LE book.
Yes, Maharaj, so requesting a page number to be mentioned so I can open it up and start reading the page.
Maraj, please go ahead and turn towards page number 475. Shishika Maraj is shuffling through the Living Enlightened book and is looking for the page 475. The power of seeing with the eyes blindfolded is one of the preliminary powers and one of the first powers which manifest as a result of the awakened third eye. Yes, Shiv Shankar Maharaj has come to page 475. Yes, Maharaj, please go ahead. You can start reading out as soon as you're ready. The third eye is also called as the browsing center of the cosmos, as it is through the third eye we connect with the cosmos and all the Shaktis, all the powers, and all the knowledge repositories are downloaded from there. Yes, Maharaj, please go ahead.
So the first word in this page number 475, as mentioned by Maharaj, is cunningness, is division. It is a constant calculation. It hinders free and innocent expression. It knows to express only through calculation. Calculation is all right for arithmetic, not for the beat. As calculate for the wrong reason. Do we ever calculate our blessings? No, never. They are pushed. They are just taken for granted. Cunningness starts with division of whole. Innocence is lost when the mind is taught to divide. Once it picks up the thread, the mind continues and moves far away from its original innocence.
Wow. Thank you so much, Shiv Shankar Maharaj. Beautifully, Shiv Shankar Maharaj has not only opened up the correct page number for the page number which we asked him to for this demonstration, but has also read out the first three paragraphs of the page. Thank you so much, Shiv Shankar Maharaj, for giving us a glimpse and demonstrating this power of seeing with the eyes blindfolded, manifesting the power of third eye. You can go ahead and ask the volunteer to take off your eye band. And so with this, we've come to the end of this demonstration of manifesting the power of third eye, the segment of manifesting powers. And we're going to be entering very soon into the next segment of today's program. Please stay tuned as we get ready and prepare ourselves to witness the following upcoming segments.
Okay, na?
Yes. After this beautiful demonstration of witnessing the power of the third eye, what happens when a third eye is awakened? The preliminary power of seeing with the eyes blindfolded. As one of the very first and basic powers of the third eye, it is also the very important one as well. As seeing through the third eye, seeing blindfolded, helps create a base and foundation for every other power to manifest from there on, including the power of Akashic records. What exactly are the Akashic records? They are records which are created in space. Whatever happens in time exists as a file in the Akashic records. Nothing can be destroyed. Please understand, none of your actions, thoughts, plans, emotions, words, nothing can be destroyed. The Akashic records are the cosmic archives of everything happened, happening, and will happen. They are the verbal, visual, five-dimensional document. Whatever is happening is continuously getting recorded in the Akashic records. All the information you collected from all of your births is in your DNA. You can access some of them just to understand and not waste time doing the same actions again and again. The Akashic readings are not predictions. They are readings from the cosmic archives. There is no such thing as past, present, and future. Beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. The dimension of time starts the past, present, and future. But in the Akashic records, there is no past, no present, and future. And that is why what you call as happen, happening, and yet to happen are all clearly already recorded. In Swamiji's own words, nobody has the right to comment on these readings. Nobody has the right to manipulate these readings. Nobody has the right to interpret or comment on these readings. They are complete unto themselves. For anybody to live in tune with the cosmos, the Jivan Mukti, living enlightenment, they do not need any special practice other than listening to those great readings again and again. When you listen to these great readings, naturally your negative logic is penetrated, broken, and these great truths settle in your inner space, and they make you live enlightenment. As the avatar of Paramashiva, the supreme founder of Hinduism, has graced humanity with the blessings and darshan in the form of Devi Parashakti, revealing answers to questions to the yearning of seekers as solutions, breakthroughs, and liberating humanity from pain and suffering. Any answer given by Devi Parashakti is not just an answer, but a karmic breakthrough for the receiver. Here you have the Shastra Pramana, which is a scriptural reference to manifest the power of Akashic reading. The Shastra Pramana is taken from the Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, 61st Dharana and 84th Sutra. Agasham vimalam pashyan kritva drishtim nirantara stabdhatma tat kshana devi bhairavam vapurapnuyad. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, looking at the spotless infinite etheric space, Akasha beyond the sky and clouds, one should fix one's gaze without blinking, continuous and making the body and inner space steady and motionless. In that very moment, O Devi, one attains the nature and powers and the infinite space Bhairava. Here we have some of the Sakshi Pramanas, which are the experiences and results of the extraordinary manifestation happening through the initiated disciples of the Supreme Founder of Hinduism. As you can see, there are various social media snippets and screenshots from devotees across the globe sharing the success of manifesting the power of remote vision after being blessed and having the initiation from the Supreme Founder of Hinduism. Now let's look over at the Apta Pramana, which is the reference of the power of Akashic reading from the Hindu Purana Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, that narrates the story of the great sage Maitreya, who reveals the secrets to Vidra, the story of his birth in human form, and the reasons for all his suffering. Sage Maitreya accessed the Akashic records and told Vidra that he was not an ordinary man, but was in fact the incarnation of Yamaraja, the Lord of Death. He was to play the part of a so-called Shudra for 100 years, being cursed by Manduka Muni. And now we're going to look at the Atma Pramana, which is the personal account from the Supreme Founder of Hinduism's own life, where he has time tested and authenticated the science. In the Supreme Founder of Hinduism's own words, reading the Akashic records is just open the screen and it will appear. Originally, the Akashic records appear in Sanskrit and then they get translated into English, being the process of seeing the scene in cognizance. That is why most of the English words which I use those same words are getting repeated in the Akashic records because the seer, during the process of seeing, translating the scene. Because the seer is the person who's talking to you regularly in English, uses the same word to cognize and translate the scene during the process of seeing itself. The Supreme Pandava of Hinduism says, all the information you collect from all of your births is in your DNA. You can access some of them just to understand and not waste the time doing the same actions again and again. Accessing the DNA code, reading the Akashic records will be useful for you to be liberated from your default future, bringing an end to your binding cognitions, known and unknown sufferings, leading you to experience enlightenment, otherwise known as Paramashiva. The initiated Balsams can view the Akashic records. However, only an avatar can alter, edit, upgrade, and change the Akashic records. It is during the Darshan and Diksha, Supreme Pandava of Hinduism, blesses them and upgrades the Akashic records as per the prayer of the devotee. So what can you ask and expect in the Akashic reading? The most accurate, unbiased answer to any questions about your life, destiny, purpose, or everyday part of your life. Be spiritually healed, have physical and emotional problems with just a look or a word. Understand the reasons behind your life's happenings and receive the blessings to fulfill your right desires. You can also get the clarity to redesign and understand your future. So these are some of the things that you can expect from the Akashic readings and some of the things that you can ask as well. Moving on to the next segment, understanding the divine feminine consciousness. Here we have the Dhyan Shloka of Devi Parashakti, describing her glory in her existence. Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yadi Bhavati Shaktya Prabhavitum Nache Devam Devo Nakashala Spanditumapi Atasvamaradhyam Harihara Viranjadi Bhirapi Pranantum Stotum Va Atamakrita Punya Prabhavati. Lord Shiva only becomes able to do creation in this world along with Shakti. Without her, even an inch she cannot move. And so how can one who does not do good deeds or who does not sing your praise be adequate to worship you, O Goddess of mine who is worshipped by the Trinity? Bhavanitvam dase mai vidara drishtim shakarunam edistotam vanchan kadhayati bhavanitvam itiya tadaivatvam tasmai disasi nija sayujya padavim Mukunda Brahmendra Sutamakota Nirajiti Padamam. If anyone has a wish in his mind to pray, you, Bhavani, my mother, please shower on me a part of your merciful love. Even before he says, you, Bhavani, you, my goddess, would give to him the water falling from the thrones of Vishnu, Rudra, and Brahma at your feet and granting the eternal life in your world. Devi is ultimate pure feminine consciousness. All great things can start only with mother. Bhuvaneshwari is the cosmic mother, a cosmic womb from which billions and billions of universes go in and come out. The source where the Big Bang and black holes go on. Parashakti is the source of all of us. We all came from Parashakti, stay in Parashakti, and go back to Parashakti. We are literally waves in the ocean called Parashakti. Parashakti is the source, source Shakti, source energy, source power, from which all of us came, in which all of us are even now existing in, and which all of us are going to merge back into. It is like a wave starting from the ocean, staying in the ocean, rising in the ocean, and falling back into the ocean. We all start from Parashakti, stay in Parashakti, raise in Parashakti, drop in Parashakti, and merge in Parashakti. Parashakti is the main deity of the sacred feminine and the divine consort of Bhagavan Paramashiva, who is the Lord of the super consciousness. Parashakti is the embodiment of Tyaga. The divine feminine consciousness is unique only to Hinduism. The unique contribution to the spiritual consciousness from the Vedic tradition is the sacred feminine worship. Even if everything from which Vedic tradition gave to the world, even if all of that becomes lost, just if the sacred feminine tradition is there, the holy thing can be revived because that is the seed. Hinduism has at least 10,000 sampradayas. And if all the sampradayas are lost for some reason, and only this one sampradaya of Devi worship remains, the whole thing can be brought back. Because the whole thing is centered on this one, or the worship. Mother worship carries the blueprint, the hologram of the whole Vedic tradition. The sacred feminine worship is a hologram of the Vedic tradition. There is no enlightened being on the planet Earth without worshipping the sacred feminine, including me. I am basically a Shakta. I myself follow Devi worship. From the beginning, if you see my biography and all the deities I carved, the darshans I had, they have all been mother-based, Devi-based. These are the direct words from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed to the world on the 17th of September 2010. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, a great avatar who lived from 1936 to 1986, says very beautifully, Shiva is Brahman, but Devi has the key to reach Brahman. Unless she opens, nobody can reach. Even though the husband is the owner of the house, the key to the house will be on the hip of the mother. Either you have to fall at the feet of the mother, or only the small sons of the mother. Only they can touch that place and remove the key. Nobody else can. So either surrender to mother or the people who are closer to the mother who can reach. The divine cosmic beings are real, and they manifest from Kailasa, which is the enlightened time-space zone, through deities and through incarnations. In Madurai, Paramashiva as Bhagwan Somasundareshwara and Devi Parashakti as Devi Meenakshi came down from Kailasa to establish the greatest enlightenment ecosystem. In Madurai, Bhagwan Somasundareshwara graced the people with various miracles, and he stays in a frequency where he can immediately assume the human body and relate with us, answer our questions, respond to us, and raise our consciousness. The whole Shiva Leelaranavan Madurai, beautifully Paramashiva reveals that every time when he comes down, when he assumes the form to manifest certain powers and grace to devotees, he exemplifies the expression of certain sacred secrets that humanity can benefit from. We are now going to be learning about the story of Ellambala Siddhar. This story illustrates how Paramashiva takes responsibility for protecting his devotees and is always available to us to save us from total destruction. Lord Sundareshwara, Lord Chakunatha, as he is fondly referred to, responds to the calls of his people through the Leelas or the divine actions, causing miraculous incidents, deepening their sweet devotion through that, and showering them with whatever they want, even when they have forgotten about it. Once Lord Somasundareshwara assumed the disguise of a Siddha to shower the people of Madurai with blessings in this life and beyond that as well. With a charming face and gentle perspiration, the Lord wandered the shopping areas, crossing the roads and porticos, art galleries and courtyards. He would stay in the north side while appearing to be in the south. He would be in the east while appearing to remain in the west. He would suddenly disappear and make distant objects appear near. He would make the elderly young, make males appear as females, make the females appear as males. He would make the barren woman pregnant. He would make the dumb speak and the blind see. He would make the bitter yeti tree bear sweet fruit. The people of Madurai forgot their trades and jobs, and their eyes and minds were enchanted by the miracles of the Siddha. Hearing of these Leelas, Abhisheka Pandian asked the Siddha to be brought to him. The Siddha said that he had nothing to do with the king. The king, realizing that the Siddha was free from the karma and its effect, had no need to oblige to the king of the Devas. Paramashiva tests the strength and will persistence of the devotees. Paramashiva tests only the tyaga of the real devotee. Before you connect a house or a gadget with electricity, you check the capacity of the wire to see if the medium is capable of transmitting this huge electricity. Otherwise, it will get burned. Before Paramashiva transmits the powers, he tests our capacity of tyaga, because only then he will be able to receive it. The core principles of Sanatana Hindu Dharma, tyaga, vairagya, shakti, they are all demonstrated by the 63 Nayanmas of Shaivism. Paramashiva came down and graced the lives of the Nayanmas and liberated them with living enlightenment. Here we have the story of Kari Nayanar. This ardent devotee of Lord Shiva was born in Tirukadiyur. He was a scholar in Tamil. He used to go to the 3 Tamil kings and get money by singing the Tamil povais. He earned a lot and built temples, thus spreading Shaivism. He also served the Shiva Bhaktas and earned their grace. A true devotee of the Lord lives for his sake only. All that he has in his offered to the Lord is as devotees worship. Paramashiva is the creator, the father, the mother, the friend, and the guru. He has given you the various talents and skills. All of them belong to him. He dwells in all and expects you to utilize all of them in service of the devotees. This is the simple logic by which the saints arrive at the conclusion that they should all see Paramashiva and all, serve the Lord in all, love Him, and through the cosmic love express as selfless service and charity. By leading such a selfless and divine life, you conquer your worst spiritual enemy, ego, and realize Paramashiva in this very birth. We've now seen some of the stories as Paramashiva blesses devotees when he assumes the physical form, and how he blesses the world through his own devotees as well. Supreme part of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashiva, being the 1008th living incarnation of Paramashiva, has not only performing the Shiva Leela Navad Madhuri, but also throughout the world as well, across the globe, in various continents, states, across various different races, genders, communities, ethnicities, and so on. For this next segment, we're going to be having devotees join us and share their experiences where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has caused miracles, has deepened their spiritual feeling connection with Him, and has made their life magical. Stay tuned as we get ready for this next segment, witnessing how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is directly working and making miracles happen in the various lives of devotees.
1 or 2 times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By 3rd time, 4th time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality, and the relationship between you and that cosmic beings built. I tell you, each Baba Samadhi Darshan is a spiritual treat, enjoy. Spiritual feast, enjoy. Don't miss it. Never miss a Baba Samadhi Darshan. Enjoy Paramashivoham, which is introducing and making you cognize the cosmic principles and cosmic beings. The state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, being of Paramashiva. There are some great spiritual sciences unique to Hinduism. Subtle, otherworldly, but definitive sign. Manifesting the cosmic beings in Archavatara, deities in Nijavatara, living incarnations is possible. Understand? Kriya Pada of Vedas and Agamas elaborately explain the whole science of making the cosmic beings manifest in Archavatara, deities and Nijavatara, living incarnations, both. During the Baba Samadhi Darshan, literally those cosmic beings manifest through this body. Just like how they manifest in Archavatara, deity, they manifest in Nijavatara, Pratyakshavatara, and give you all the boons you ask, bless you. You see, each God is an independent intelligence to lead you to enlightenment. Each God is a bridge for you to achieve the Shivatva, the ultimate Shiva consciousness. Krishna is the bridge for you to achieve the Krishna consciousness. But Shiva consciousness, Krishna consciousness, all consciousness is one and the same. Ultimate consciousness only. So that energy itself completely expresses.
Just like Radhika, when I see my own sweetness in the mirror, I become eager to taste it. I find that the only way to relish this sweetness is through the constitution of Sri Radhika.
Bhava Samadhi Darshan is a window to the infinite expanse of consciousness, allowing us to glimpse the formless in a way that we can understand. It cleanses the karmas of lifetimes. It awakens our biomemory to the space of Paramashiva, the ultimate consciousness, and creates a deep and lasting transformation in us.
One or two times have Ganapati Darshan, Venkateshwara Baba Samadhi Darshan, Devi Baba Samadhi Darshan. By third time, fourth time, you will see every prayer you are asking those beings, Ganapati or Venkateshwara or Subramanya or Parashakti. Simply those prayers become reality, and the relationship between you and that cosmic beings built. I tell you,
Nityanam, everybody. Welcome back for yet another beautiful power manifestation session that we just witnessed. And now we're actually going to look at the real power manifestations that have been happening on this planet Earth in each and every one of our lives. The miracles that Devi Parashakti, through the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, has been constantly showering, has been constantly manifesting in the lives of so many disciples and devotees all across the globe. Today, we have some of the participants who will be joining us in this segment, sharing their beautiful experience with Devi Parashakti, experiencing the oneness with Devi Parashakti, manifesting the very happening of Devi Parashakti in their life. So, starting today, we have with us Sri Pradyumnaya from Hyderabad, India. Nityanamaya. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, Nityananda.
Yes, I am. Please, and you can introduce yourself to all our viewers.
This is Pradyumna. I am from Hyderabad, and I am a software professional, and I have connected Swamiji since 2004, and since then it is Swamiji's grace and his krupa that has that is the thing that is guiding me in every walk of my life, and even in this pandemic time, actually, it is Swamiji's grace, which is actually in this time of adversity, we are able to exist peacefully and blissfully. And daily, the revelations that Swamiji is making, really guiding us to take the right decision during this pandemic time. So I'm really thankful to Swamiji and Sangha for their support and for their contribution to the humanity, continuously guiding us in the right direction to exist peacefully and blissfully. Thank you.
Wonderful, Aya. And so actually Pradyumnaya came along and shared his experience a few days ago about his connection with Devi Parashakti and how he received the answers from Devi Parashakti. Today he is back again with us as Pradyumnaya got another beautiful blessing from Devi Parashakti in his very life. And actually, Pradyumnaya, before you start sharing about that, if you could actually give a recap into like what you had asked Devi, and then Devi had blessed you with doing something, and then you started implementing it in your life, and then how things have started changing in your life, and what are the changes you were able to see in your life. Can you share it with the participants?
Yes, Mara, sure. Actually, this was my third question that was answered by Devi Parashakti, Swamiji. And the first question was actually which I came across through, which was not, I was not able to come out of it. And it was a huge pattern which was impacting my life. For that, on that day, the incident that had happened, I have asked the question to come out of my fear. And Devi Parashakti has answered me to control my tongue. And not only that, do the fasting without salt and tamarind for 14 days. And I see, I did that eventually, and I see lot of, lot means that I think I don't see the trace of anger that used to come across and the situations in which I usually used to get. And because of the Devi Parashakti suggestion, like control your tongue, that was soaked into my mind and being, and it just become part of my life now. So my reactionary assumption pattern that was there, it was completely just the Devi Parasakti instruction that she gave me, and it is her grace. Because of that, it is now part of my muscle memory and my memory. Just that
Wonderful, yeah.
blessing, yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
my reactionary assumption pattern has now changed, and now I am a bit more silent, more in that space of Paramashanta. From that space, I am operating with proper listening to the life that I am facing now.
Great,
So
yeah.
there is,
Actually, I wanted
yeah.
to share something here with all the viewers who are watching us live. See, beautifully, Pradyumnaya is sharing that he had some anger issues and then he just asked Devi to help him out with it. And Devi actually just told, control your tongue, and she told him to do the fasting. And just that one word that Devi told, just enter into him, and that's it. It's like nothing else that was able to affect him going further in this COVID pandemic. I'm sure that all of us are experiencing so many psychological ups and downs. And there are so many problems that we are actually stuck with. We are unable to handle life. We are unable to handle the situation. We've got no clue as to what's going to happen next. Anxiety, depression, addiction, all of these things are coming up together. All of these things are literally attacking us together. And in this situation, when you just have that simple obedience to Devi Parashak, Devi just told me, so I'm just doing it. As simple as that. That simple thing that was there. Because I know, like, how many people are stuck with this anger. Anger is something that is one of the most violent killers on planet Earth. Because the moment you get angry, even scientifically it is proven, that the moment you get angry, the hormones that get released, it takes about 3 hours for your brain to even come back to the normal state of being. Your intelligence is completely switched off, completely just off. And even for it to come back to normal consensus, it's going to take you 3 hours. Just imagine what would be happening based on the decisions that you take when you get angry, and not just impacting you, impacting people around, and then finally understanding that it just destroyed your life and things around you unnecessarily. And here, just having Devi Parashakti's blessings, Pradyumna is sharing so beautifully that just one word from Devi Parashakti just sank into him, and that's it, it's disappeared. I know for so many people, it's like an uncontrollable addiction that is there. But here, just by the one word of Devi, and just doing that simple fasting that Devi told, no salt and no tamarind for 14 days, he was just able to get over the anger pattern just like that. Beautiful, Aya. Please go ahead and share.
Yes, ma'am. So this is how I am able to come out of my pattern and really existing beautifully. Another question that arises is I asked is that is for my wife actually, and she was going through some bad dreams, and she wanted to be asked and take the blessings of Parashakti to come out of it. So for her, I put the question, and Swamiji immediately answered. The answer that Parashakti has given me is to go to Hyderabad Adinam, Sri Kuram Adinam, and do the seva to deities. And it is like some Brahma Rakshasa Pita that we are going through. To come out of that Pita, go and Parashakti has instructed us to go to the Sri Kuram Hyderabad Adinam Kailasa and do the seva over here. So I came to Sripuram Kailasa, and we started our seva. And we are really enjoying being here, and such a blessing from Parashakti doing the seva to herself in Shripuram, Hyderabad. And it is
Exactly, and also
really a,
Sripuram, Hyderabad, the main deity itself is Devi Rajarajeshwari. Devi Parashakti herself is the main deity. Go ahead. I just want to tell it across to the viewer.
yes, sir. And we have a goshala over here and a nice, beautiful ambience that Swamiji has blessed us over here with a beautiful ecosystem. And spending time over with the family, doing the seva, and this is really a different world altogether being here, and such a blessing from Parashakti to be there doing a seva, and it's really transforming our lives as a family together, and experiencing in so nearness and closeness to Parashakti doing the seva directly. And such a blessing it is, I think we cannot imagine in our life, being so close and doing the seva. It's like being one with it, and it is experiencing the oneness without any remembrance, always being in that space. You are already experiencing it continuously and becoming that. So it is, I'm thankful to Swamiji for blessing us with that. And we are going through that, and we are enjoying it really because of that blessing. So
Yes, yeah. Actually, just like how
Swamiji
you're
and
sharing,
Sangha.
right? Like even in the starting of the program, when we listen to the cosmic beings of Kailasa manifest in two different ways. One, the Archavataras, and second, the Nijavataras, who are the incarnations of those particular deities. Here, Devi Parashakti, who is the Nijavatara of Paramashiva, blessed Pradyumnaya to be constantly in the space of herself as the Archavatara, who is the presiding deity of Sripura Sarvanya Peetam. So literally, Pradyumnaya is actually blessed to continuously be in the space, the breathing space of the divine, continuously manifesting the powers, the powerful cognitions, the health, the wealth, the like everything. When you are with the divine, I'm sure, like if any of you would have been to the temple, like even if you just enter into any temple, you will see your very space just shifts. You might be so agitated and irritated and stressed of something, pissed about something. But the moment you actually just walk into a temple, the entire vibration is different. The entire energy field itself is different. You just become so powerful. Just imagine spending your time and just living your life in the space of Devi Parashakti herself, knowing that she herself came down in the embodied form and told to do seva to herself in that form. And so this is actually a beautiful introduction. Now we are going to see what Pradyumna actually received, the blessings. Devi actually, I can say, beautifully prepared him for in these two and then led to the next. So yes, we are all excited to hear the third blessing that you received from Devi Parashakti. Please go ahead.
Third blessing is like it was just going through my mind, and like even my wife and we wanted to have a kids. So I have one kid. She is 7.5 years old, and we want to join her Gurukul. And recently, before I asked her this question, I have registered. One day before I asked her the second question, I have registered online for her to be in the Gurukul, have the Gurukul education. So on the immediate day, I asked her the second question. Now, third question that I asked after being here in the Shripuram Adinam, Kailasa Adinam here, and we were going through that for quite some time, like we want to have more kids. So I asked her, Swamiji, being here, can we have more kids? So that is, and Parashakti blessed us with 4 twins, and blessed us with all the abundance and 16 prosperities, and such a huge blessing for us. Like even she told not to fear, because even having 4 twins, we cannot imagine that in the current circumstances and this, and to only once it is a blessing from her. So definitely it is going to manifest, and we are really happy, even in a way my wife, how it is possible. So, and at the end, even Parashakti made a statement, don't fear. So such a beautiful blessing. Even she knows our thought current, what we go through, even taking such a blessing, because usually nobody can imagine in the current world such a blessing can come. And even she stating not to fear about that, what we go through, and such a that is an amazing blessing. I cannot imagine. As Sundareshwara Maharaj told, it is the slowly, beautifully how Devi Parashakti is preparing us for this beautiful happening. I am very heartfelt my gratitude to Swamiji Sangha and giving us this ambience, being here with the family. That education is for my kid that cannot give it in the outer world is being taken care. Uh, because we have all that cannot outer world cannot give us the current ambience, the whole Sanatana Hindu Dharma is being lived here and practiced here, and we can that my next generation can radiate it. It is Swamiji is creating a platform where really beings land and radiate the Sanatana, authentic Sanatana Hindu Dharma, and the expression of it is Swamiji blessed us so beautifully. So
Great, yeah. Actually, this is exactly like such a beautiful. When I was actually listening live to Devi Parashakti, actually blessing you with this entire blessing, I was just so happy that it is when she herself is going to manifest, and like you are just, if you just look at the life of Prahalada, right, who was a child prodigy who happened in our Hindu tradition. It was just a manifestation of Paramapada, like Mahavishnu himself. Nothing. His wife, his mother, Kayadu, was just in the presence of Narada, continuously in the presence of Narada, listening to the great stories, great happenings of Mahavishnu. And Prahalada was born, even though his father was a Rakshasa, he was born as the one who liberated his own father just by listening to the greatness of Mahavishnu while he was in the womb. He was not even born. While he was in the womb, he listened to these great stories of Mahavishnu, and he was enlightened the moment even he was born. Here, you're blessed by Devi Parashakti. At the same time, you're listening to the miracles of Devi Parashakti every single day, and you're doing the seva to Devi Parashakti every single day. What more bigger boon can anyone ever receive in their life? Literally, you just know that the entire purpose of your life is just fulfilled. Whether it is with your wealth you need, whether you need the health and what is going to be happening for your future, what is going to happen for your kids' future, everything is just attended and taken care. And you shared right beautifully that Devi just told, do not fear, I am taking care. As you said, she just knows what is going on in us, what is going to go on in us, and she just attends to every one of us as it is in us. Because she's there, she's the mother who is there listening to every one of us in our life. So yeah, after this whole experience that happened, how did you feel about this whole thing? What's your experience of the entire Devi Parashakti Bhava Samadhi Darshan itself? Like, how was your life changed? Like before Devi Darshan and now after Devi Parashakti, answering, making herself physically available, where you can listen to her own words directly to you.
I can say like the whole thing after this, when we did the Pachapati Ratham, so that was a great preparation even to listen to her words, that blessings what we had. And even if I say I did IS, UIS, and I was with Sangha. So I greatly transformed a lot. But this one pattern that I was really struggling, which was I was not able to break through, that is only the blessing of Parashakti I'm really able to come out of it. Because that is the only pattern I think the whole, my family or the people around me was really struggling. Maybe my frequency of it was reduced, but really a small thing of anger really disturbed the other beings too much. And we can sense that because nobody wants to be in that state when we get angry. And such a huge blessing for me, and that really transformed the whole ambience around me, and I'm really having a great blissful existence. I can see how the Sangha over here, which the people I live here, and they are really happy and really joyful. We are doing the seva, and as Maharaj told, like it is affecting in all dimensions of my life, whether it is physically, psychologically, the health-wise, and relationship that I am experiencing right now. It is Parashakti's blessing, really. I am seeing a new dimension in my life in all aspects uh, that a human being goes through regularly, and it is such a blessing. And not only that, and she is guiding me continuously to exist in such a higher frequency. Always, I cannot imagine my life after this. In past 2 months, it is too much. It is hugely
Wonderful.
transformed, and yeah. So I thank
Great. Is
Swamiji
there
and
anything that
Sangha
you'd
for
like
this.
to share to our viewers about how they can prepare themselves for receiving the answers of Devi Parashakti? And something that you can share with them, the last words that you'd like to share with them.
Uh, my experience is let's be integrated to Swamiji and just and the instructions Swamiji has given to you, get your answered question that just follow that and be in the space of oneness with Parashakti during the uh, Parashakti Akashic readings. I think that's what prepares you to receive your answer, whatever your question. Like some questions we ask out of just let's see kind of a thing. Like it is from that seeking. I think if we ask, definitely it is get answered, and the way we receive also it will be a different thing, and it will be like the Parashakti. I see even sees our space of receptivity.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
and
actually,
it
as I
is
said,
also.
it's like when you are ready for it, Devi actually showers you. When she knows you are ready, that moment the answer is revealed to you. Even though she already has a plan for your future, but she waits till the child grows. Just like how many times when children are young, they would ask us questions about things that we technically will not be able to answer. So we tell them something and just keep them quiet. But when actually time comes, the mother actually tells the real reason, the real answers. Just like her, that, she prepares each and every one of us. The moment she knows that we are ready, she never stops, she never holds back from telling and giving us the best. So thank you very much, Aya,
Smart,
for coming up and sharing. And it's been a beautiful experience, and we're looking forward for a lot more from you. And of course, having your children in the Nityananda Gurukul with Swamiji and manifesting the state space being and powers of Kailasa. And yes, so anything else, Aya?
Thank you. Actually, I want to thank Swamiji and Sangha. As you mentioned, it is a beautiful preparation that actually had happened. That Swamiji and Sangha has provided. It is the fruits I am receiving out of it. I thank
Wonderful,
Swamiji and
Aya.
Sangha for this. Thank
Great, Aya. Thank you once again for joining us in this panel. Nityanandam.
you. Nitya.
So there we listened from Pradyumnaya, a beautiful experience of him having with Devi Parashakti herself, where he was blessed by Devi Parashakti herself through the Nijavatara to do the seva to herself as the Archavatara in the temple, and now she herself manifesting to be born as the kids, as his own kids. So that's something best that we can ever receive in our life. And as he simply shared, just have the open receptivity to do whatever she says and make it as a reality. Nothing else is needed from you. Simple love, simple integrity. She said, so I am doing, done. That's all is a simple inner space that you need to hold. And you will see Devi Parashakti reveals the best for you. Now, we are also going to be joined by Sri Nitya Tejomayananda Swami, and also a few other participants will be sharing their experience, the miracles of Devi Parashakti of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in their life. So I'd like to welcome Sri Tejomayananda Swami for the next segment of this sharings by the various different disciples and devotees in this segment. Nityananda Swami.
Nityananda Maharaj, thank you so much. And such a beautiful space of listening to participants of the Akashic reading who have received directly blessings from Devi Parashakti in the form of the Nija Avatara, Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasannidhana, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramahansa. Now, we'd like to invite Sri Nitya Jnana Swarupananda.
Nityanandam,
Hello, yeah. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. and a pleasure to see you again. And just for the sake of our viewers, would you please introduce yourself and where you're from and what you do, and a brief history of how you came to Swamiji?
Sure. Nityanandam, everyone. My name is Sri Shivanyana Swarupananda. I am based in Toronto, Canada, and I am fully involved in Kailasa Toronto, and I'm part of the temple team as well as the outreach team. So, and also leading the Annadan team here in Toronto. So I've been under Swamiji's fold. I knew Swami. I met Swamiji for the first time in 2009 when he came to Toronto, and I've been following him, but not fully at that time. But then I think in 2014, 15, when Theriya Swami was in Toronto is when I started getting involved in the Sangha and actively getting involved in the temple activities and all the other stuff. So I've been here in Toronto for this long, attended a few programs, IAs with Swamiji, as well as been, again, blessed as I'm so happy to see Pratimaya was being blessed with quadruplets, which is an amazing blessing to get, because we were also blessed with 2 kids from Swamiji directly. So I can know that feeling. It's such an amazing feeling to have kids that were blessed by Swamiji. But yeah, so being involved in the Sangha for such a long time, helping, going through a lot of change in my life, my family life, making sure everything is aligning to Swamiji's principles and teachings and aligning myself to the Hindu lifestyle, which is a very, very hard challenge to do in this part of the world. But I'm trying to align myself as much as I can to get to that space.
Beautifully, beautiful. So let's first start with your spiritual name. You received it very recently, and walk us through that experience. How was it when you heard the first time that this was a name that was blessed by Swamiji as your spiritual name, and what it meant to you?
Oh, this is a name. I mean, I have been wanting to have a spiritual name, seeing a lot of people that I know within the Sangha getting a spiritual name, and always I had that resistance of my identity to my old name, just thinking, okay, how would I feel getting that name, and how am I going to be, just having all those negative thoughts, right, about not thinking about that spiritual name is something that aligns you to your life purpose. So even my wife, we were both talking about it, and she also was not sure whether we should get the spiritual name or not, because in the end, we both would have the same names, only just the difference would be the Sri and Ma. So, but she was also kind of having some hesitance. But then when we had our DTA with Devi Parashakti or Swamiji a few weeks ago, I don't know, I looked at Devi and it just hit me in my hand. I said, please bless us with a spiritual name. I think at that time, my inner space was ready to listen to that name. So initially, when I first thought of a spiritual name, I thought I'm going to be getting a very long name or something. But then when I heard the name Sri Shivanyana Swarupananda, I was like, wow, such a beautiful name. And it just flows with bliss. And when I heard about the meaning, and my wife also was so happy and excited to get that name, and it meant a lot. And I noticed ever since we've had the blessings and getting that spiritual name, it has changed. It has had a huge shift in our space, like between me and my wife. Like as Swamiji says, you feel reborn. Like I feel like another person right now with that name. So, and it's hard to now when you talk to people outside Sangha, trying to get them to understand that to call you by this name is also something that you need to tell them why do you have this name? What does it mean? And how is it aligning you to your life path, life purpose, which is what, to me, when we got that I feel like getting that spiritual name was needed for me and my wife to have a huge shift in our space, not only within spiritually, but within ourselves too. Like now we come as a package. There's no Madan or Darshini. It's Ma and Sri Shivasya Swarupananda together. And the purpose is to align to Shiva, Lord Shiva's mission. So that's all we're doing. And it's been a blessing. And I think, it was a blessing to receive it directly from Swamiji. So what else can I have nothing more else to do other than deepest gratitude for that.
And that's a beautiful way of putting it. And one thing I wanted to reiterate from what you shared is how when your inner space is ready, when you become finally ready and available, that is the best space to be in to go in front of Devi Parashakti and ask for anything. And when we are ready and we are available, she is always ready and always available to give us a blessing. And when your inner space shifts, she's there and she'll beautifully give us that blessing. So that is wonderful. So tell us about the actual name, like what is the meaning of the name and what it actually means to you when you hear the meaning. Because when the name is given, the spiritual name is given, the meaning of it is also given so that the whole life can actually align to that purpose. So please tell us about that as well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the exact meaning of the name is blissfully, auspiciously, the embodiment of knowledge of Paramashiva. That is the true meaning of that name. So it's I'm still trying to I have to read it a couple of times to get to understand it. So yeah, so when I hear that, I'm like, it's pretty much the one who knows the knowledge of Paramashiva. So I mean, what else? I mean, that when you hear that, and it's a name that it really rhymes within me. I feel like it's a name that I'm meant to have. And when I hear it, it's like me and my wife, we start calling each other that now. We don't call each other with other names. So it's so that's the meaning of the name. And I still am so excited. I'm like a baby, so happy to have a new name. When you get a name, when I name my kids, that's how I felt, like so happy.
That's awesome. And that's exactly true, because when Swamiji gives us the new name, it is a new birth. So it's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Now, you mentioned your kids, so I just wanted to ask. So what has it been? You also received blessings from Swamiji for the birth. And please talk about Sarvesh, Nandika. What does it mean for them to have this ambience, this ecosystem, which they are beautifully growing up in? So what does that mean to you and your family?
So I think it's, as mentioned, it is, I mean, blessed to be given these kids that were blessed by Swamiji. And literally you can see that we are pushing them to be in this ecosystem that we are living in, this world that we're not directly in Adi Kailash or any other ecosystems, but we're trying to build that ecosystem, trying to make sure that they're following Swamiji's teachings, doing puja, doing yoga, and they do it. I mean, like my son is 4, Sarvesh is 4 years, and Nandika is 2 years old, and they, like the way they inspire me and my wife a lot in certain ways, that they wait for us. Like, I feel like they know they're already born with that muscle memory. Like, they know what they need to do. It's just a matter of getting them in tune, and that's it. While for us as who have had a lot of patterns in our system, we have to go through a lot of change in our system to get aligned to that space. And I find that when you see them, like seeing these kids, and especially you being with them every day, it makes you need to align. So sometimes I even tell my wife, we need to do more, because they will just pick up and run. They know what to do. They, like my kids, my daughter, my son and my daughter both, they go to the temple. They know that their life is about Swamiji, Hinduism. Like even when we go out, whenever we're around the temple, my kids know, though the temple is closed, the kids know that they have to say their pranams to Swamiji. Like, for example, when I go to my brother's place, it's beside the temple. Even if it's late at night, Sarvesh will say, Appa, I need to go say good night to Swamiji. So we go in front of the temple, he will chant the mantras, he will chant everything, then he will say good night to Swamiji, then only goes to sleep in the car. So he knows that now that is part of his muscle memory and biomemory, that his life revolves around Swamiji's teaching and principles and being a Hindu. Even eating, right? Like we teach him about the vegetarian lifestyle. Like we always had fears like, oh, how would he be in Canada, like being exposed to non-veg and everything. But teaching him that, he knows that now. Even now, sometimes when we go out and stuff, we're in the car, when he sees these advertisements on TV, he'll be like, no, Appa, we're not supposed to eat meat. And he's like, I asked why. He said, that's only for animals. We're humans. We don't eat meat. And he's a 4-year-old carrying that powerful cognition that this is not supposed to be. It's like we just tell them once or twice and they know it. And it's all because of bringing them up in that kind of an environment, and they know it. And we try our best not to give them all these processed foods. It's a challenge, but we try them, maybe because everything in this country has yeast. So we're so picky in all those things. So, but they know, they understand. So I feel like it's just because of Swamiji's teaching and seeing how it impacts people who do not follow that. It has helped us a lot, and we're still churning ourselves and still trying to build this ecosystem, not only within our house. We still have to build it in our homes first before we expand it. So I feel like that my wife and myself, we are working towards building that ecosystem within our house, and then we have the temple. And I feel not even going to the temple is a huge thing because of the COVID shutdowns, and the kids miss it a lot. Like, we literally watch old temples, and he's so excited to see the temples, and he misses the deities big time. So, like, they know, like, they're missing it. Like, so whenever we get a chance to go to the temple, we get to go and see the deities. So, like, hearing about Pratimaya being blessed to be in Sripuram directly every day, it's amazing. It's an amazing blessing, right? I wish we can get to have that experience once again, once the COVID lockdowns are released. But to your point, we are as parents trying to get them in the ecosystem, building that ecosystem within our homes first, and also using the temple as as external ecosystem for Hinduism.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful. And now that we're talking about the temple, please share about your experiences with just serving the Archavataras. You always perform seva to Lord Venkateshwara at the Toronto Kailasam temple. So please share how that started and how was that experience and what has that transformed in you?
Well, that is, I mean, I feel like doing seva to the temples, to the deities has what has kept me, as I feel is like doing that seva is like as what has kept me going and helped me write this pralaya and all these things, because I feel like that when you're with the deities and of doing the seva to them, you feel that space of calmness and oneness. And I feel like you just feel like especially me when I'm doing it to Venkateshwara, I just feel like to him I'm doing Alanka